The Sunday School lessons for June 30th, 2024 are Fearless Witness and Hope in God Transforms Us. Acts chapter 26, verses 1 through 11. Welcome to my channel, Read With Me. I am Audrey. If you are new here, please know that this is an audio reading of the lesson and the lesson summary. Viewers and subscribers, please help this channel grow one viewer and one subscriber at a time by subscribing, sharing, commenting, etc. Thank you so much for all that you do to make this channel what it is and what it has the potential to become. Verse 1. Then Agrippa said to Paul, "You have permission to speak for yourself." So Paul motioned with his hand and began his defense. Verses 2 through 3. King Agrippa, I consider myself fortunate to stand before you today as I make my defense against all the accusations of the Jews, and especially so because you are well acquainted with all the Jewish customs and controversies. Therefore, I beg you to listen to me patiently. Verses 4 through 5. The Jewish people all know the way I have lived ever since I was a child, from the beginning of my life in my own country and also in Jerusalem. They have known me for a long time and can testify, if they are willing, that I conformed to the strictest sect of our religion, living as a Pharisee. Verses 6 through 7. And now it is because of my hope in what God has promised our ancestors that I am on trial today. This is the promise our 12 tribes are hoping to see fulfilled as they earnestly serve God day and night. King Agrippa, it is because of all this hope that these Jews are accusing me. Verses 8 through 9. Why should any of you consider it incredible that God raised the dead? I too was convinced that I ought to do all that was possible to oppose the name of Jesus of Nazareth. Verse 10. And that is just what I did in Jerusalem. On the authority of the chief priests, I put many of the Lord's people in prison, and when they were put to death, I cast my vote against them. Verse 11. Many a time I went from one synagogue to another to have them punished, and I tried to force them to blaspheme. I was so obsessed with persecuting them that I even hunted them down in foreign cities. A brief summary. Paul began his speech before this tribunal by recounting his early life as a faithful Jew, a strict Pharisee. Paul believed in keeping the law to the letter. Unlike the Sadducees, he held to the hope of a future resurrection of the dead. This issue was key. Agrippa knew that the idea of a last day's resurrection was a wedge issue between the two powerful Jewish sects. Paul used that understanding to clarify one of the reasons he was in prison. From the beginning of the church, the Sadducees used their political dominance in holding the office of high priest and key seats in the Sanhedrin to persecute believers. Paul used this theological issue that Festus did not understand to frame his argument with Agrippa. Thank you so very much for listening. Join me soon for the next Read with Me. Stay safe and may God bless.